One of the absolute hardest things to do on YouTube is build a strong initial fan base. Unless you know how to play the algorithm perfectly and also have a decent amount of luck, building a sizable audience is a real challenge. I've been uploading to this channel off and on for about 5 years now, and in that time I've amassed just over 10,000 subscribers. A number I couldn't be more thankful for, by the way. I love all you guys. My point, however, is that it's not a small amount of time. That's just over a fifth of my life, working on this channel and trying to make a career from it. It truly can't be stated enough how dependent on their audience a YouTuber truly is, and how grateful to them they should really be. Obviously, however, not all creators share that mentality of being grateful to their core audience, and will quickly abandon them when something more profitable presents itself. When this happens with a smaller channel, it's not really as big of an issue. And more importantly, even if the content does shift, if a YouTuber maintains the same sort of vibe and energy with their content, a lot of viewers will stick around, as it's the creator themselves they enjoy more than the content itself. Take the YouTuber Luke the Notable as an example. A YouTuber who used to be fairly successful as a small Halo creator, who one day decided to try making a couple of Fortnite videos, and instantly his channel exploded. From there, he also began playing Minecraft, and his channel reached far beyond what it could or would have had he stuck to Halo. The reason I, and a lot of his other fans didn't really take issue with this, was because he himself hadn't really changed. His energy was the same, humor, commentary, everything. The content shifted, but he didn't. There's one creator, however, who I think more than anyone else is the embodiment of the exact opposite mindset. One who took the goodwill of his entire, very large audience and completely threw it away in the pursuit of the most profit possible. That creator being Alia. Hey guys, super quick reminder that I'm trying to hit 30,000 subs by the end of the year, and with your help, I know I can do it. Alright, enjoy. Alia is truly a massive YouTuber. Like him or not, that can't be disputed. His channel is currently sitting just shy of 20 million subscribers, and his total view count is at nearly 7 billion. And that's without even mentioning his second channel, which I'll go into later. There's no denying that Alia found a winning formula and has been making the most of it. That in itself isn't the issue per se. It's how we got to this point where the issues come in. So let's first look back at how he reached this point and when exactly he decided to abandon his audience for a bigger paycheck. Alistair James Aiken, which by the way I think that's like as British as a name can get, first started up his YouTube career in 2006 at 13 years old with the channel Matroix, which would eventually be renamed Alia. His content was actually pretty solid even early on, as he was actually a pretty good video game player. He would often provide commentary on the new games in the COD franchise as they came out, whether it was reviews or walkthroughs, and beyond that, he would go really in-depth with breakdowns on techniques and general gameplay tips for getting good at the games. Getting himself rooted into the Call of Duty fanbase, arguably right as the series was truly hitting its peak with the releases of MW2, Black Ops, and MW3, meant that Alia was able to quickly build up a really large audience. And again, despite what people may think of him now, his early Call of Duty content was genuinely really engaging, informative, and straight up impressive. He was actually just a really good player people enjoyed watching and learning from. And so, Alia stuck with it. He continued making Call of Duty videos for years. The style remained quite similar throughout the years as well, the only thing really changing were how the titles were formatted and the thumbnails modernizing with the times. Even in this early stage of his career, you can see that Alia was no stranger to jumping on changes that the algorithm would like, and in general just emulating what other successful YouTubers were doing. Again, that isn't really a bad thing, as at this time, Alistair himself remained consistent in what he was making and how he portrayed himself. However, as the years went on, this would slowly change a bit, until finally, in late 2017, everything would start to change. September of 2017 saw the release of Fortnite's Battle Royale mode, and with that, the Alia that everyone knew and loved was essentially done and over. Alia had at that time already amassed a whopping 9 million subscribers. He was genuinely already set. His fanbase was dedicated and it was huge. But despite that, once his initial Fortnite videos took off, Alia decided to take all of the goodwill, love, support, and fame his audience had given him and flush it all down the toilet. With essentially zero warning, Alia fully jumped ship from Call of Duty and switched to almost exclusively playing Fortnite. I'll say this again, this didn't necessarily need to be a huge issue. While his audience did consist of pretty much Call of Duty fans alone, that didn't mean that a large majority of those fans weren't also fans of Fortnite, and wouldn't support the change. What killed the chance of that happening, however, was the way that Alia himself changed alongside his content. With the realization that Fortnite appealed to children more than any other kind of player, Alia opted to fully rebrand himself into a high-octane, super advertiser-friendly, borderline kids channel. His content very quickly lost all its charm, originality, and appeal to millions of his older fans. His thumbnails and titles quickly converting into generic garbage you see from every other kid channel, with the same 5 facial expressions reused over and over with generic clickbait titles. The content itself also being no better, just being overly excited nonsense meant to stimulate the borderline non-existent attention span of modern kids. And still, to this day, that's what his channel looks like. From late 2017 to now, his channel has gone up 10 million subscribers, with his channel averaging about 1 million subs every month during the first few months of Fortnite's peak. From a business and monetary point of view, this decision made sense, and it's kind of hard to fault him for it. YouTube is his job, and he'd be kinda dumb to not try and get as much money out of it as possible. But it's the way Alia so effortlessly abandoned pretty much the entirety of his core audience within a couple months that leaves a bad taste in the mouths of many. 9 million people found his content and decided to stick around and support him, and without so much as a second thought, Alia sold them out and left them to dry. He never even so much as made a video explaining his shift in content or thanking his initial fans. He just ignored them. All of this is without even mentioning his secondary channel, which, honestly, I hesitate to call his secondary channel, as, at least as of right now, his secondary channel actually has more subscribers and views than his main one. His channel, More Alia, was initially created for the sole purpose of uploading content that his main audience may not be interested in, like vlogs and other gameplay videos like Minecraft, Mario, Pokemon, and more. He had a sizable extra audience on this channel alone, but the shift from what the channel started as to what it is now is arguably worse than what happened on his main channel. Nowadays, this channel has completely shifted to bare bones, clickbaity, kid-centric reaction video garbage. It's honestly hard to believe that the guy who was known for down-to-earth, chill, and helpful COD videos, and just fun yet simple engaging gameplay videos, has devolved into making this. And without so much as acknowledging the original fans who helped get him to where he is today. For the last time, I want to state that him switching up his content to what's most effective and profitable isn't the big issue. It makes sense. YouTube's his job, and he'd be kinda dumb for not leaping at any chance to make more money and grow his brand. But it's the way he so effortlessly cast aside his millions of initial fans that makes that shift so noticeable and so offensive. I don't even post the same kind of stuff I started out with. My first videos were focused on anime, TV, and some gaming stuff. The difference is, when I made my shift, I had around 1,000 subscribers, not 9 million. And not only have I never stopped thanking my fans and supporters, as it's you guys that make this possible, and it's you guys that will hopefully one day allow me to make this my full-time job, but even though the content may have changed, my style and personality definitely hasn't. I freaking love you guys, honestly. I couldn't do any of this without you. Until next time, I'm Sir Surgeonor, and I really hope you enjoyed. Peace.